What's good, y'all? We back. All right, we're gonna go through this paperwork. There's a lot to talk about in here. Man, it's over 100 pages, and I want to give a quick shout out to at BWA, Mr. King Yeller. Not the King Yeller that we know from Chicago. But I appreciate you, man, sending me the a link to the paperwork, man, because we were gonna have to, everybody that's asking for us to do a full breakdown, a full read reaction, we was gonna have to go figure that out, go find it. Yesterday it looked like things were sealed, but yeah, it's going around now. So shout out to the chat holding me down as always, man. I really appreciate y'all. I can't waste too much time, man. As much as I want to do intro and backdrop for anybody that's not fully up to speed, you're just gonna have to catch up in a different stream because we got a lot to go over. So I gotta start, y'all. Okay. All right. What do we got here? United States of America versus Eugene Heenley. That's Big U. You got Sylvester Robinson. These other names in here, they're in the thumbnail. Well, some of them. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, all of them are in the thumbnail. I believe Tremaine Ashley Williams, though, I believe that is loose cannon. I don't see here. I don't see Brick Baby's name here, at least. So I don't know if the people that are in the thumbnail, if you see that indictment picture layout that's going around of like the 19 or 20 people that was actually brought under this whole RICO charge and whatnot. I don't know if they got separate cases. I don't know if Brick Baby is facing something different. I don't know if he's going to be added to this. I don't know. But in this one right here, we see Loose Cannon and Big U. This is the criminal complaint by telephone or other reliable electronic means. Oh, look at this shit. 107 pages. All right, let's just look down the table of the contents so that we can get a gist of what they put in here. Introduction, we'll skip. Purpose of affidavit, we'll skip. Persons, property, and premises to be searched, we'll skip. Okay, we know that houses got raided and all that. Items to be seized, we'll skip. Summary of the investigation, we're going to take a look at that, maybe skim through that. Summary of probable cause, we might have to take a look at that. Statement of probable cause, the Big U enterprise, the checking in, the concept, the term that's been going around. What's the definition of it? Checking in, tapping in. That's in the paperwork. Wow. How the check-in works. How Big U and Big U enterprises respond to failures to check in. Supposedly legitimate businesses and charities used by the Big U's enterprise. They put supposedly. Oh, wow. They playing. Racketeering activity of murder or of RW. Wow, that's the football player that allegedly stayed with them, and his body was dumped off in a desert alongside in Vegas, alongside the road, allegedly. Summary: the murder and connection to the Big U enterprise. Big U's cell phone location corroborates his involvement in RW's murder. So we heard yesterday and we talked about the DNA stuff. This is a cell phone corroboration now as relation to the murder charge. Okay. Evidence from the scene. I don't know if that's DNA stuff. We'll see. Big U arranges for recording equipment from the studio to be removed and surveillance video to be destroyed. Damn. Interviews of family witnesses. Okay. Witnesses. And Big U Enterprise Associates, Title III interceptions, which y'all got some wire shit going on. Okay, maybe they got some wiretaps too. Title III interceptions. Robbery in violation of the Hobbs Act as racketeering activity. Big U directs a robbery and conspiracies to rob and Robinson and Williams personally rob a marijuana dispensary at gunpoint. Williams continues to commit and discuss robberies and other violent acts. Further evidence of Big U's enterprises' involvement in robberies, extortion in violation of the Hobbs Act and racketeering activity. Jesus. Transportation of individuals and interstate commerce with intent that the individuals engage in prostitution and violation of the Mann Act and as racketeering activity. So there you have some of the details that we didn't see yesterday as we did our stream relating to trafficking and crossing state lines, human trafficking stuff fraud in violation of federal wire fraud and bank fraud statutes, and racketeering activity, economic injury, disaster loan program fraud, wire fraud through embezzlement of charitable donations, bank fraud, Big U's tax crimes, other criminal activities showing how Big U enterprise operates. Big U coerces a witness to recant statements to law enforcement implicating a Big U enterprise associate. That's like a witness tampering stuff, right? Isn't Doc Lowe in jail for that right now? Big U makes various threats and brags about violence to further the Big U enterprise's reputation for fear and violence, solidifying its power to extort victims. Big U and Robinson describe other threats and violent acts of Big U enterprise. That's got to be happening like on the wire right there when you're talking about you got them describing stuff or whatever Title III intercepts that they have, text messages or whatever. This had to be going down for a while, people. Identification of property and premises to be searched and probable causes. I think we're done there of the stuff that he's going after. Training and experience of homicide offenses, training and experience. Okay. People. With all due respect and seriousness, if you just read the fucking table of contents, that might be a justified stream right there. I know we're only 6 minutes in, but I might just cut this shit off. Like, reading the table of contents, is that not enough for us to understand what's going on here? Like, oh my God. Shit. This is by far the heaviest, most charged up shit of paperwork that we've looked at on the Sorry Shoe podcast so far. Jesus. Oh man. Pardon me, people. I got a holes ready to go. I got my water with me. Oh man, I'm looking forward to getting these details and for us to come up more up to speed, but I'm not looking forward. This is a lot. Let's get working. Let's get moving. All right, let's go. Introduction shit. I said I was going to skip it and it's all redacted. Look at this. It's all redacted. Okay. Don't know why. Purpose of affidavit. Nope. Nope. Persons and property. Nope. Items to be seized. Nope. Don't care. Probably cars and cribs and things that you think that he purchased with his illegal fraud associated money and whatnot. I don't care about the assets, jewelry change. I don't know. Properties could be clubs, could be marijuana dispensaries, whatever. Summary of investigation. In February 2021, the FBI Los Angeles Metropolitan Task Force on Violent Gangs launched an investigation into Big U's criminal enterprise. So there you have it. Once again, this is a 4-year investigation. You don't put an indictment like this together overnight. The Big U enterprise and its association with the Rolling 60s neighborhood Crip street gang, the Rolling 60s, which the pretty much the Violent Task Force agency began investigating in August 2020. Oh, so pretty much even backdated even further than that. Big U Enterprise is mafia-like organization that utilizes Big U's stature and long-standing association with the Rolling 60s and other street gangs to intimidate businesses and individuals in Los Angeles. The Big U Enterprise is led by Big U. Big U is a self-admitted member of the original gangster or OG of the Rolling 60s, a violent criminal street gang with associated sets in several other states. Big U is widely regarded as a leader within the Rolling 60s. In 1980s, Big U rose to a prominent position in Los Angeles drug and Rolling 60s hierarchies. During this time, Big U also earned a reputation as an enforcer for the Rolling 60s. Some members of the Big U Enterprise are also members of the Rolling 60s. Big U is able to lead the Big U Enterprise because of his standing as the face of the Rolling 60s for decades and his reputation for violence, including murder. At times, Big U Enterprise partners with members and associates of the Rolling 60s and other criminal elements for mutual benefit. But the Big U Enterprise is a distinct and independent criminal enterprise engaged in criminal activity. Members and associates of the Big U enterprise are engaged in illegal activities, including extortion, robbery, murder, human trafficking, wire fraud, bank fraud, other financial crimes, obstruction of justice, illegal debt collections, illegal gambling, conspiracy to commit fraud via illegal gambling, and other offenses in furtherance of the Big U enterprise for benefits of its members and associates. Talk about an intro. It's still going. As set forth in detail below, through the course of the investigation, agents gathered information from a variety of sources, including confidential human sources, informants. Okay, I mean, we knew that, we saw that, but confirmation. Number two, whatever word that is, repetitious, whatever, repetitious, whatever recordings. What the fuck? What the hell is that legal shit? I never seen that word before, including Title III wiretaps. Number three, search warrants for social media, iCloud, and Google accounts. Okay, so they got into all that shit as well. Number four, financial records from both individuals and companies or organizations. Number five, toll records showing communications between conspirators, victims, and Big U enterprise members and associates. Number six, cell site location information from numerous phones, including Big U's, Robinson's, and Martin's. Number seven, City of Los Angeles records, public filings, and other publicly available information. And number eight, interviews of witnesses and victims. The investigation employed various additional investigative techniques, including surveillance, vehicle tracking, poll cameras, recording devices, interaction with confidential sources, and information gleaned through undercover purchases and firearms and narcotics. Number 11, the United States District Court of Central District of California authorized multiple Title III wire and electronic interceptions orders for telephones being used by certain subjects of the investigation, including Big U's, Robinson's, Martin's. Zahir Mitchell, I think that's Brick Baby. Yeah, aka Brick Baby. Oh, all I gotta do is read the words right next to it. Okay, there you go. Brick Baby. Ooh, so Brick Baby was he's not at the top like we saw, but he's named here for being tapped. The court also authorized the interception of audio and visual nonverbal conduct via closed circuit televised CCTV through the installation of video and audio bugs in a location. They on you like Gotti. Jesus Christ. They brought the bugs out. They brought the wiretaps out. They got the informants. They got the victims that's probably been getting extorted allegedly. Jesus. Well, 4+ years. What do you expect? 4+ year investigation. What do you expect? Since the inception of the investigation, the FBI, Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, Criminal Investigation, IRSCI, United States Attorney's Office for the Central District of California, North Las Vegas Police Department, Las Vegas Police Department, and other local agencies have interviewed more than 50 individuals. Jesus. You hear a number like 50 coming to trial, and you be like, damn, we're going to be here for fucking 8 months. Hey, this is before trial. Interviewed already 50 people that they brought in. Hey, sign this under oath. Shit. Or signed statements. Over 50 people, including subjects of the investigation who agreed to voluntarily provide information, as discussed further below. Based on the information learned from these individuals and other sources, FBI, SAs, IRSCI, what is that? NLVPD was at the Las Vegas Police Department detectives and LAPD detectives requested and obtained additional search warrants and subpoenas. Below, I summarize the information and evidence obtained thus far from the various investigative tools where relevant and requested complaint and warrants. The investigation remains ongoing. Intermission. What the fuck? Oh, shit. Hey. That intro reads wild, spooky. Let me say this real quick to y'all. Something that I went through yesterday on my own. Just seeing like the iCloud warrants, the cell phone warrants, and all that type of stuff. I mean, if you're into street shit and all that, and you're putting it on DMs and text messages and phone calls and all that shit, like it is what it is. You're gonna have to deal with whatever you deal with if the people grab you up or if they're investigating you. But side note for us civilians or whatever, if you happen to think that your phone is being cleaned, I don't know about y'all. I know it's an iPhone, world out there. I'm team Android. I'm team Android. Yesterday, I noticed that my phone storage was almost full. So I plugged it in to my computer with a USB drive and I started scanning all the folders on my phone. And I was like, what the fuck is taking up all this space? And what I did was I went to Windows Explorer with my browse to the folder on my phone, right? And I clicked search and I started at medium sized files, right? Hold up. Let me see what medium sized files. I'll do it right now, quick on the side. If I do a search, medium sized files are 1 through 128 megs in size per file. So that's what I searched on my computer. When I tell y'all, I spent about at least an hour and 10 minutes going through this shit. At least 400 to 500 pictures that I deleted from my phone was still there in some super sub. Go ahead and save it off to the side for the cops. And you signed the contract when you took the cell phone service type of shit. It was some off to the side shit. If I just go on my Android and I go on my picture gallery and I have a picture in there that I took today and I delete it, there's a whole nother area in my phone that is not, I could only access it from plugging my shit. And I was like, what the fuck is like this 500 pictures here that I deleted? And they were just stored under some weird cryptic name there. I'm just like, this is why my fucking phone is running out. And I'm pretty sure if I take this shit to the cell phone company, they ain't gonna help me out with that. They're gonna try to sell me a new phone or telling you people. There's just a lot out there that just we're not aware of, is the point that I'm making. Because when I found that shit yesterday, it scared me. I ain't into nothing, but I'm just saying, I was like, whoa, what? I deleted this for a fucking reason. Like, why is it still in my phone? Let's get back to this shit, man. Oh man, that intro was wild. Oh, that summary was wild. Oh my bad. All right, let's get back to it. Big stage. All right, summary of probable cause. With 100 plus pages, I'm only gonna skim the probable cause, people. Big U, Robinson, and Martin. Those are the 3 top people that keep naming. And others known and unknown are members of Big U's enterprise, a criminal organization whose members and associates engage in, among other things, murder, kidnapping, robbery, extortion, interstate transportation, etc., embezzlement, fraud, wire fraud, all this type of stuff. All right, we've seen a lot of that in the table of contents. So the probable cause, I'm not going to act like I know exactly what's in here, but I just got to assume probable cause for those type of charges and stuff we already seen is making money, coercing people, gaining power, gaining strength. They're probably putting all that type of stuff as the probable causes. Do we really need to be told what type of probable cause do you have for extortion? Money. What type of probable cause do you have for wanting to witness tamper? Staying out of trouble. Like, we understand probable cause. Yeah, I don't want to do the probable cause stuff. You choose not to check in, you suffer the consequences. Okay, as part of the Big U Enterprises purported control of Los Angeles, individuals including professional athletes, musicians, and others intended to conduct certain types of business in Los Angeles, including both legitimate business and illicit criminal conduct, were required to check in with Big U prior to traveling to Los Angeles or engaging in certain activities to obtain protection from Big U Enterprise while in Los Angeles. We heard that this was the situation between Young Sam, or I'm sorry, not Young Sam, Black Sam and Big U about when Nipsey Hussle, Black Sam brought, what was it, DJ Khaled to the hood for a video. And Big U was trying to get next to him, allegedly. And it's like, yo, They got to come through me and, tap in and check in. Because remember, tapping in or checking in doesn't necessarily have to be that they're going to try to put their hands in somebody's pocket. You could act like you're providing protection, and then it becomes a favor. We become associates. We become friends. Hey, man, I need you for this free feature. I need you for this free show. We've been hearing talks about that's how Meek Mill and certain people got into it, because there was some type of talks or an agreement over a free show at some point. A lot of these rappers get extorted in different forms. It's not just, hey, cut me a check, right? You better know it. And even the examples that I just said and the examples that I just repeated that we've already heard publicly on the internet, it's still alleged, but you better know this is what's going on in certain places. All right. I'm not gonna say just LA. Big U hosted a podcast titled Checking In. Why did he name his podcast that? Well, I guess they're gonna use that now. Well, they clearly are here using that here now, right? All right. The opening theme song of which explained when you hop off the plane and check in. I'm live, homie. I'm live. Shout out to my man Holla. The opening theme song of which explained when you hop off the plane, check in. Penthouse suite, check in. When your feet hit the street, check in. Because if not, shit get hot. Oh, that's the song that's playing on the intro of his podcast? You better check in. The check in included both payment to Big U Enterprises, as well as requesting permission from Big U to conduct certain activities, including acts of violence that was sanctioned by the Big U Enterprise, as Big U described in a documentary film that he produced about his life titled Hip Hop Uncovered. If I don't pick up the phone, that can mean death for somebody. Really? He said that in a documentary? As Big U stated in the Nothing to Something podcast, so he said that on a podcast, you're going to check in. You could choose not to, and it's going to be a problem. If you choose not to check in, you suffer the consequences. You feel like you got something bigger than what's there, and that not checking in is basically an act of war. It ain't. Not one human being who not going to check in. Ooh, okay. While members and associates of Big U's enterprise use Big U and Big U Enterprise's history and reputation to control Los Angeles through violence, fear. We saw that earlier. Focused on bettering his community through. I don't want to skip that piece. Hold on. Big U simultaneously attempted to create an air of legitimacy for the Big U Enterprise by promoting himself as a reformed gang member focused on bettering his community through purported nonprofit organizations he founded, such as Developing Options, and by soliciting donations from celebrities and grants from governments and foundations to these charitable organizations. In actuality, Big U and other members and associates of the Big U Enterprise use the purported nonprofit entities to enrich and further the objectives of the Big U Enterprise, including by embezzling funds meant as charitable donations to nonprofit entities, using the nonprofit entities to fraudulently apply for government assistance and loans, and 3, using the nonprofit entities to falsify employment and financial records to personally benefit members and associates of the Big U Enterprise. That's one that we haven't heard yet, or I haven't heard yet. Falsify employment. When do you need to falsify employment? Number one, lines of credit, right? I can see people getting a lot of trouble for that. You're approved for your MasterCard and you falsify, something like that. How about real estate? Getting a loan, getting a mortgage, right? You're working with an underwriter. They want proof of income. They want proof of job and employment, right? What else? What else could you want to establish employment for? How about for your PO? Right? Wow. So you talk about possible manipulation of banks, um, the fucking the criminal system of PO and what, like, yeah, falsifying employment under that could have roots and all types of shit that could just trace back to a lot of wow. Okay. Members and associates of the Big U Enterprise would discipline other members and associates who acted in ways seen as detrimental to the Big U enterprise, or other individuals who were seen as disrespecting the Big U enterprise or its members, including through threats and acts of violence such as assault, kidnapping, and murder. Members and associates of Big U's enterprise would avoid direction by law enforcement by, among other activities, attempting to thwart and evade law enforcement, surveillance, destroying video surveillance or other evidence, and three, threatening or otherwise pressuring victims or witnesses of crimes committed by members or associates of the Big U enterprise to avoid interaction with or to provide untruthful statements or testimony to law enforcement officers. Fuck. What's this one right here next to A? What is this? Big U kidnapped and murdered victim RW in Las Vegas in retaliation for perceived disrespect to Big U's enterprise and endeavored to conceal that murder with other Big U enterprise members and associates. Big U, Robinson, Martin, and Williams committed and arranged robberies to enrich the Big U enterprise to further the extortions committed by the Big U enterprise and to create the impression that Big U enterprise controlled Los Angeles. Big U, Robinson, and Martin extorted individuals in Los Angeles for purported protection when such protection was actually from violence committed by the Big U enterprise itself. Big U and whoever this person is arranged for the interstate transportation of individuals to engage in prostitution for Big U and Big U enterprise. When Big U was turning himself in yesterday and he did those videos, he didn't mention 10% of the shit that's in this shit. they put a lot of shit in here, man. His lawyers are, man, you noticed in those videos too, you know one thing he asked for help. You better know. You better have a bunch of rich friends or well-off friends or people that's, because this gonna be heavy. This is gonna be heavy. You need the best of the best if you even gonna get a good plea deal out of all this shit. It's like they got 20 things on the table and he's 57 years old. You only need 3 of them to give you significant time. The murder, the fraud, the extortion, the witness tampering, the you know what I'm saying? It's like shit. Big U defrauded various companies, donors, athletes, and celebrities into providing donations to Big U enterprises, charity, only to transfer those donations to his own personal bank accounts for personal use. I want to see what the personal use is. Is it the cribs, cars? Like what's the personal use? I do want to see that. I bet you those are some of the things that was probably grabbed in seizures, right? Yeah. Oh, Big U fraudulently obtained funding from the city of Los Angeles mayor's office through the Gang Reduction Youth Development Foundation, portions of which received federal funding. Playing with federal money, allegedly. Big deal. Big U defrauded and attempted to defraud the Small Business Administration, the SBA, for loans that benefited Big U enterprises. To enrich Blanton, whoever that is, a Big U enterprise associate who purported to work for the Big U Enterprises charitable organization, Big U, Martin, and Blanton and Hines committed bank fraud by submitting a fraudulent mortgage application. It's a lot of shit. And Big U, Robinson, and Martin, and other members and associates of the Big U enterprise attempted to obstruct investigations into and conceal the above referenced crimes committed on behalf of the Big U enterprise. Statement of probable cause. I think we can skim some of that. The backdrop here of the Big U enterprise. I mean, shit, you guys been telling us about it the whole time, but let me skim it real quick. I believe that Big U led the Big U enterprise. Robinson was a years-long associate and confidant of Big U and served as his right-hand man, underboss, and enforcer in Big U enterprises. And Martin was also a close confidant and trusted lieutenant of Big U and the Big U enterprises. So that's why those two names get mentioned so much alongside of him in this paperwork here. Much of Big U's enterprise's structure and affiliation with the Rolling 60s is in the public domain. in the television series Hip Hop Uncovered and docuseries, or the docuseries which Big U executive produced. Big U detailed the history of the Rolling 60s and his involvement with that gang. Big U admitted he was Rolling 60s. We know all of that stuff already. What is the statement here? Big U claimed that he did not have gang-related tattoos because people already knew where he was from, and it was never a question. A similar quote that Big U often repeated when asked why he has no gang tattoos is that it isn't on you, it's in you. You got a lot of people that also say, I'm not saying Big U, but especially in the life of crime, because it's identified. It's like you don't want to have tattoos that you can be picked out of a lineup for or can be recognized. Think about the movie The Town, right? The girl that worked in the bank, they came in there with masks, and then she was watching them pistol whip or rifle whip dude that was on the floor, whatever. And as his neck kind of went down a little bit, you saw the fighting Irish tattoo on the back of his neck, right? And then when they met each other in at like a outside eating little spot or whatever, and he was getting up, dude covered the back of his neck for him so she didn't see it. Like when you're in a life of crime, like tattoos and identifiers, and it's all types of little ways to try to get around and get away with shit. But I'm not saying that that's why Big U has no tats, but I mean he's giving his answer there. It's not on you, it's in you. Cool. You know what I'm saying? After encountering legal trouble as a juvenile, Big U moved to California, to Chicago. Big U admitted elsewhere to being on the run and conducted illegal drug activities in Chicago. So we don't need his whole background. My philosophy was the gun can get you any and everywhere you need to be. Yeah, this is a lot of his backdrop, using his old statements, his history, his docu-series, his podcast to use his own words and building up who he is. We don't necessarily need all of that. In 1991, Big U was found guilty and sentenced to 23 years in state prison for robbery. Yeah, this is all his backdrop. We get it. And the damn near nobody who been in this motherfucker longer than me can stand against me and me be who I am. If I had a problem with any man, and this wouldn't be so funny to me, I'm still who they say I am. I mean, yeah, we don't need all of that. We don't need all of that. The check-in. All right, let's check this out. The check-in. Big U and Big U's Big U enterprises are widely known for requiring a check-in for out-of-town entertainers or gang members in Los Angeles. As Big U described in the docu-series, if you don't answer the phone, it can be death for someone else. Everywhere there's someone like me, and you can't put a monetary value on his touch in hip-hop. After more than 3 decades as Rolling 60s members and several years managing famous hip hop artists, Big U was widely regarded as an original gangster or OG. And the docuseries record producer Andre Young, aka Dr. Dre, explained that it is very helpful to have an OG who can clear the streets. Well, what is clear the streets? Within this operating environment, Big U instituted the concept of the check-in. Damn, they damn near as if he invented it, huh? When hip hop artists and other celebrities visit Los Angeles, how the check in works. The check in is a term used when someone travels outside of their home city to another city. During that travel, the individual must check in or meet with local street representative of said city to pay a tax or a fee for permission, both to move about freely and to have an event or conduct business in that other city without the risk of harassment or danger from criminal elements, while Big U and other supporters attempt to persuade the public that the check-in provides safety and security for those who do so, as set forth herein. Big U and Big U Enterprise also manufacture the very danger they purport to protect against. We've heard stories about sending somebody to harass or to jack someone up, so to speak, and then the person that is the big dog acts like they came and stopped it, but it's all a play being ran together. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's say me and my homie, we running plays together, and I send my homie to your video shoot, and he goes over there with 10 people, and you know what it is and what they represent, and they got y'all under pressure, and you feel like, oh shit, it's up for us. And then here I come, like, oh, no, yeah, fall back, we good now. He's cool. That's DJ Khaled. He's cool. You like, you sure? Don't shoot him right now. And I'm like, no, he good. And then he goes away. And DJ Khaled looks at me like I saved him. No, me and him just, yeah, we lined that whole shit up. You know what I'm saying? There's all different plays ran with this shit. But if you live in a hub like New York City, LA, some of these Atlanta, some of these celebrity hubs where you got to do your media runs, where you got to pick up your bags, do your shows. If you happen to have a stronghold, Houston seems to come up a lot. If you happen to have any strongholds in these areas, it can literally become a lucrative business for you. You build up that street reputation, and it literally is that type of pressure where it's like, and even if you don't want to directly or even indirectly extort the person, still your reputation puts you next to them, and they want to affiliate with you now because it does provide a level of notoriety and clout and safety. Like, I'm in LA, and guess who? I'm with Big U. So nobody gonna, you get a little bit extra, freedom, clearing the streets, like Dr. Dre said, right? I mean, building up that process is, it's a lot of people that's making money behind that shit. And you don't gotta be no Big U to start no check-in shit. You got a strong hold on your hood. Somebody make it. If a nickel bag gets sold in the park, I want in type shit, right? Frank White, King of New York shit, right? It's business, it's money, it's opportunity, it's a hustle. Like, it just comes in different forms. All right, let's skip down. I want to see some people that they're calling out. Here we go. In docu-series, James Anthony, aka Bimmy, and Steve LaBelle, CEO of A2Z Entertainment, stressed that it is important to know the right people such as Big U when visiting places like Los Angeles. However, as podcaster Livingston Allen, aka DJ Academics, explained in the docuseries, the check-in is whatever, to commission for the gang or neighborhood where an OG is from. Christian Anthony Mathis, aka Trick. Oh, y'all bringing the homie Trick up in here from Detroit. Explained in the doc. Oh, he's in the doc series too. Explained in the docu series that he enforces the check-in in Detroit, Michigan. Trick added, "Come without permission. I don't want to hear shit you gotta say." So there's a lot of stuff that's already public of Trick taking that stance. Is that the song on the Street Hop album by Royce the 5'9" that Trick is on? Is the name of the song Gangsta? And we all remember when Trick he snapped and he went off. He was like, no fly. He was the one that kind of coined and made popular the no fly zone term. Like, you come around here and and Trick's thing was just like, put some of the locals on. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people that's here to starve, and you coming through here to pick up a 50 bag, 100 piece, 100 plus or whatever. Let some of these youngins and these locals get, like, Trick, that's extortion. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what Trick is already. That was a very old video. I do remember it. And remember, he had the incident with Rick Ross, but he addressed it saying that man's business and my business is not nobody's business. I don't know nothing about it. He definitely deflected it when he addressed the Rick Ross situation, but allegedly he went up to Rick Ross's show with a gang of folks, and the show didn't happen. My memory don't fail me, B. So, Trick, you have publicly talked about that, and they got it here in the paperwork. So you got your Prince families, you got your Tricks, you got your Big U's, and there's places where people are known to be good people to tap in with. New York got people too. It just feels like New York got to a place where there's just so many different people, where New York doesn't really have a vibe of one or two people like the way LA does, like, or the way Detroit has, the Trick, or Houston has the J Princes. Like, New York just has so many different people that are powerful. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really hear that too much with that particular person. When you go to NY, that's the equivalent of Trick, or it's not really like that. Well, yeah, it's not really like that in New York. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying there's not people that could help you out there. It's damn sure is. There's a lot of serious people. Obvious, New fucking York. But in Chicago, who would it be in Chicago? Who's the you got check in or tapping with this person in Chicago? I don't know. I don't know. Like, is there top 2 names in Chicago? I don't know. But all right, let's get back to this paperwork. Yeah, so that's the trick stuff. They got him in here. Big U has also provided examples of individuals who do not check in with him until it's too late, such as the rap artist Taekwon Terrell Bowman, aka Quando Rondo, whom Big U discussed in another interview and who was later targeted in a murder for hire plot where his associate was killed. That's a video that I brought up because I saw the clip of that right there on the internet before I got my hands on the full paperwork. And what that is, people, is this right here. Let me refresh this. Hold on.
Before they realize the youngsters get out and then they have to have an experience before they realize I should have checked in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or I should have called, or I should have been moving a certain way. And so they get out and they might be under your banner, but then they not respecting the banner. They ain't calling you. They got your number.
Mm-hmm.
They know who you is, but they feel like they bigger than the program. You know, and you got a lot of dudes, like when I was here last time, they claim my neighborhood that's in this music shit, but they don't really fuck with us until it's a problem. Then they call them. Like Quando Rondo. I just showed Envy. Like, you can't call me now. You can't call me when the fire hot.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't fuck with me before that. You know what I mean? You had my number. You could have called me. You could have did all that. You know what I mean? But he was around about. But how is that fair to me? How is that fair to our team, though? You know what I mean?
Our team.
The youngsters get out.
And ironically, how many people have Brick Baby's name tied to he's the one that gave Lil Durk the drop because Lil Durk and Brick Baby are cool. Allegedly. Ironically. Or is it ironic? I don't know. But they got that in the paperwork, the Quando Rondo shit, and they're tying it in this check-in piece. When defending this practice in interviews, Big U has stated that it is no different than when a Learjet flies over United States airspace. Damn. What do you do? Air Force shoot your plane down type shit? They want you to know who you are. Or they want to know who you are. Big U said his practice is no different, which I believe indicates that he purports to own and control Los Angeles through the Big U enterprise. What's this number 2? How Big U and the Big U enterprise respond to failures to check in. In 2022, the FBI interviewed a cooperating witness, CW1, who told the FBI about one of these check-in incidents. CW1 said that he knew Big U, who was a Rolling 60s member. CW1 also said Big U led a money-making gang that was distinct from the Rolling 60s, referring to the Big U enterprise. According to the confidential informant number 1, rap artists, athletes, and other individuals needed to pay Big U a fee when they visited Los Angeles. CW1 believed the fee that Big U collected were extortion payments. CW1 then recounted that a large buy-in dice game. Oh, are we gonna sound like the fucking Prince family dice games too? So we got all these different types of extortion hustles, and now we got the dice game hustle coming up again by these big OGs and leaders and supposed gang members and whatnot in their cities and states. Jesus Christ. It's like, all right, they make you tap in, then they make you play the dice game too with the loaded dice, make you lose 150 grand because your ass got it. And then they do the right thing. I guess they drop you back off safe to the airport. Thank you. Shit. The fuck? CW1 then recounted that a large buy-in dice game occurred in Los Angeles in June 2019. The game involved a professional boxer, AB. Adrian Broner, that got to be right. We only know one AB. Associates and several prominent NBA players. According to CW1, AB and his associates fixed the game and cheated the NBA players out of millions of dollars using teased. I just said that. But does that say that you was in on it? Let me read that again. The game involved a professional boxer, AB. We only know one boxer by the name of AB, Adrian Broner. But I'm gonna say allegedly, just in case. AB's associates and several prominent NBA players. Oh no, it involved them. My bad. Okay, my bad. According to CW1, AB and his associates it says it. They fixed the game and cheated the NBA players out of millions of dollars using teased dice. So we gotta stay away from AB too, right? Well, he's already kind of been off the hinge lately, but oh my goodness. Following that game, Big U directed a group of Big U Enterprise associates to rough up AB, who did not check in with Big U. Is he helping you set it up? And now you're talking about you roughing up AB? The fuck? And to get the money back from him on behalf of the cheated NBA players, multiple members of the Rolling 60s ultimately arrived, and Big U used them to press AB. CW1 said that Big U was involved with the incident because Big U was involved in and or would approve any dice games or similar events such as parties involving large sums of money and prominent NBA players and celebrities in Los Angeles. So you got to get the green light to even play in these games, huh? Then we're gonna rob you. You need approval to get robbed. That sounds wicked. Multiple persons involved in the incident who have since been interviewed, including former NBA players, confirmed that Big U was paid $100,000 for negotiating this debt. However, each was later approached by associates of AB and told they still owed the money. CW1 was aware of other instances where NBA players or other celebrities would need to work with and get approval in advance from Big U to ensure their safety at events in Los Angeles, such as parties, gambling games, or advertising shoots. The cost of being a celebrity, huh? Jesus. Advertising shoots? I can't do a fucking photo shoot neither. CW1 said these celebrities would have to seek and or pay Big U for protection and approval or face retaliation from Big U's enterprise. At the outset of the investigation, victim 1 was identified as an extortion victim. Victim 1 is described further below. From April 14, 2022 until April 15, 2022, victim 1 conducted a consensually monitored meeting with Big U and other unidentified individuals. During the meeting, Big U told victim 1 and others that he got into it with AB after AB cheated a current NBA All-Star out of $1.5 million and the former NBA All-Star out of $5 million. Jesus. Big U also said that he charged the players $100,000 so that he could get their money back from AB. A confidential informant involved with the cheating scheme corroborated this information, and that AB was confronted for failing to check in with Big U regarding the game. Supposedly legitimate business and charities used by Big U Enterprise. So we heard of developing options. Overall, obviously, Big U Enterprise. We heard of, developing options does business as many other entities, including the Crenshaw Rams youth football team. They're tying in youth football teams, which is designed to give underprivileged children a safe outlet in sports with a chance to build skills for the future, including athletic scholarships. According to his website, Developing Options uses advocacy, education, resources, training, and development in sports to achieve its objectives. In the docuseries, Big U indicated that Developing Options was a platform he used to help individuals get to college instead of going to jail. Sounds beautiful. Many other publicly available recordings online show Big U describing the structure of Developing Options, how it is funded, and what it claims to do for community or for the community. Okay. From July 1st, 2018 to June 30th, 2023, developing options was allotted 2,352,000 from the city of Los Angeles, 2.3 from the city. From that, Big U has drawn hundreds of thousands of dollars purportedly in salary. Hmm. Hmm. The GRYD program has an extensive mandatory handbook that is appended to each contract, and that developing options, like every other GRYD contractor, must comply with. The detailed and extensive handbook has many requirements that include extensive criminal background checks, compliance training, and well, he went through all these fucking extensive background checks, how the fuck did he get the funding, people? Earlier in the paperwork, we talked about him getting fucking sentenced for 23 years, and he was an original Rolling Six and all this. Like, don't annoy me here. Like, come on, which angle are y'all going in? Based on my review of the documents in the course of this investigation, developing options appears to have failed to comply with some or potentially all of those requirements. All right. Well, there's some handbook that you gotta abide by, but y'all still gave him the 2.3 over those course of years, right? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Fuck. Big U further solicits donations to developing options from celebrities, companies, foundations, and other entities, which the victim donors believe will further a charitable purpose, but often instead are embezzled into Big U's personal bank account. As discussed in further detail below, Big U, Robinson, and Martin, and other Big U enterprise co-conspirators utilize developing options as a platform to conduct both violent crimes. All right. Fraudulently applied for federal pandemic relief loans. Okay. Fraudulently apply for a mortgage by manipulating his income records. Big U Enterprise is committed to financially enriching its members. Racketeering activity of murder of RW. Okay, let's get into the alleged murder, people. Oh my goodness. Let me get my holes in. Oh my goodness. I appreciate y'all, man. It says ARP, you're better read than Harvard. Ain't no Jess Hilarious over here. Bam, 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 shots fired. No. Shout out to Jess Hilarious. I can read a little bit, just a little bit. But I don't know how y'all feeling so far, but let's keep it pushing. All right, racketeering activity of murdering RW. Summary. As set forth below, there is probable cause to believe that Big U murdered Victor RW on January 25th, 2021. Remember, this investigation, they say, kicked off in 2021, didn't it? August 2021. I thought it said, was it? Anyway, it really seems like the murder is the biggest catalyst of everything. All these wheels turning in his direction, maybe? I don't know. Damn sure it took a while, though, right? 2021? I don't know. And dragged his body into a desert in North Las Vegas. On that morning, Vegas Police Department detectives discovered the body. So they found him in less than a day. Discovered the body of RW lying in a desert near an Apex landfill. RW has been shot multiple times, and his body and had been dragged and left in a ditch not far from Interstate 15. Sounds like some casino shit. The movie, y'all. The movie. Hours before his homicide, RW was at studio of Witness 2. Oh. We've been hearing so far that the studio is owned by a Grammy award-winning producer. Now, that reads as Witness 2. The producer is already a witness. I mean, we kind of thought that anyway, but the paperwork pretty much here confirms it. Hours before his homicide, RW was at the studio of Witness 2 with Big U. Okay. Las Vegas Police Department investigation revealed that RW was one of Big U's recording artists and was at the studio as a guest of Big U, recording for Unique Music, the independent record label that Big U and Martin co-founded. According to a studio witness, witness one, who was employed as security for the recording studio. Is that the same witness? No, that's witness two. Oh, so you got security guard and the producer. Witness one and witness two. Okay. Big U was one of the last people seen with RW prior to RW's homicide. Witness one also stated that Robinson drove Big U to Las Vegas from Los Angeles in a dark gray Lexus, and that witness one, in his security capacity, encouraged Big U and Robinson when they arrived at the studio and had words with them because he did not know who they were. Witness one statement to the Las Vegas Police Department at the outset of the murder investigation have been corroborated by other witnesses and cell phone location data, among other evidence. Further investigation revealed motive, opportunity, obstruction, inculpatory, whatever statements, inculpatory statements, and more from Big U and other members and associates of Big U Enterprise. The murder and connection to Big U Enterprise on January 20th, 2021, 5 days before the murder and 3 days before. All right, so this is motive here. Okay, yeah, I need to see this. 3 days before Big U and Robinson drove from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, RW recorded a diss, short for disrespect, song that Las Vegas Police Department later obtained. All right, so they have it. In it, RW, so it's probably never released. They probably just grabbed it from the studio and had it in the possession as evidence this whole time. So as I'm reading this, I'm like, are they gonna give a name of a song that I'm about to go just Google and YouTube and see and listen to it? But yeah, it was probably never released, but they have it. Okay. In it, RW rapped about the person who had the money, that RW would be shot in the face for thinking shit funny, and referenced the 38 revolver with no trace. Wait, so who rapped it? RW? Wait, hold, let me read that again. RW recorded a diss song that the Las Vegas Police Department later obtained. In it, RW rapped about the person who had the money, that RW would be shot in the face for thinking shit funny, and referenced the 38 revolver with no trace. So is he talking about getting shot himself? Based on my knowledge of this investigation and conversations with others, I believe that in this diss song, RW was dissing Big U, referring to Big U as the bro that makes some money. There's some gray area there, then. Some gray area. No Big U name, just the big homie that got the money. There's some gray area there. And that RW may get shot in the face for thinking his lackadaisical use of the studio and general representation by unique music is funny. RW was shot days later in the face, apparently with a revolver like 38 that left no shell casings. It is unknown whether Heenley or Big U heard these lyrics prior to the murder. The effectiveness of the Big U enterprise is premised of Big U's stature as the most feared man in Los Angeles. We know that already. Okay. Extortion victims. Okay. As Big U himself stated on the intercepted call in 2023, can't no nigga beef with me, nigga. Beef with me, nigga. Because if he do, I'ma kill him. Period. I am going to murder him. They got that off of a wiretap. As Robinson explained in what is that? Surreptitious or whatever recording. When Big U got out, he said, I'm the toughest nigga, and here's my body of work to prove it. And you know, I'm the only nigga still killing niggas today. You niggas retired. They understand that. Oh, they got a wiretap of Big U. And which one of the OGs here is who's he talking to? And Robinson. And Big U is saying on the recorded call, I'm the only OG out here that's still killing niggas. Trying to say he's still getting his hands dirty. That's the way this read to me. I'm the toughest nigga, and here's my body of work to prove it. And you know, I'm the only nigga still killing niggas today. You niggas retired. I didn't. They understand that. Oh, if true, not good to have on a fucking phone call between you and Martin. Um, wow. Because the Big U enterprise's existence relies and thrives on fear of violence, perception is paramount, and witness number two explained he a Big U through the Big U Enterprises entity Unique Music was using Witness 2's expensive, valuable studio to record the Big U Enterprises artist RW for free based on the fear and the power dynamic imposed on Witness 2 by Big U Enterprise for years. So when this producer, this Grammy Award winning producer gets named, they're gonna look at him like, damn, why you let Big U just run up your studio for free all them years, man? You couldn't stand up. He gonna say, nope, because he's a witness, right? And so he's not gonna say anything opposite. He's already witnessing for them, this reads. So and there's nothing wrong with that. He's coming off like a civilian anyway, right? So it just seems like a civilian who won some Grammys and is a producer, and they was using your studio up. I ain't gonna say that they was extorting you. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But that's the way that they're putting this indictment together and presenting it. I believe that RW wasting the time, thereby disparaging Big U's name and the Big U Enterprise's reputation, and potentially flouting that disrespect with the lyrics of the diss song, led to a dispute between Big U and RW. The dispute was so serious that Big U and Robinson drove from Los Angeles to Las Vegas to confront RW, and that dispute then turned deadly. Throughout our investigation, no investigator, family member, witness, or any third party has ever identified any individuals that would have motive or opportunity to murder RW except Big U. As discussed herein, Big U's motive for murdering RW was in the interest of the Big U enterprise. Big U's cell phone location corroborates his involvement in RW's murder. Cell phone stuff. The night before the murder, Big U's phone location data and witnesses showed that he arrived at an Airbnb on Round Rock Drive in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Airbnb RW was staying in prior to the homicide. Wow. In the middle of the night. Oh, damn, this is some movie shit, y'all. Now we get into some fucking, I do my movie references. Where we at now? Fucking No Country for Old Men? Old Men? Damn, man. That hotel scene of how he tracked him to the hotel, that shit was wicked. Segura, right? Oh my god, this shit is damn. On January 24th, 2021, the night of the murder at approximately 7:04 p.m., Big U arrived at the studio, according to witnesses, at approximately 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. RW arrived at the studio and recorded a song for approximately 11 p.m. until midnight on January 25th, 2021. At approximately 12:37 a.m., Big U left the studio, and the dark gray Lexus in which he and Robinson had driven to the studio was no longer at the studio. At approximately 12:58 a.m., Big U's phones stopped reporting location data of any kind, with the last data recorded within the vicinity of the studio. What are they trying to imply? That he pulled his data card out or something like that? Because turning your phone off ain't enough. Is that what they're implying there? At approximately 1:13 a.m., surveillance footage at the Airbnb again revealed the dark gray or silver sedan arriving to the Airbnb. RW exited the passenger side of the vehicle and entered the Airbnb. A few minutes later, at approximately 1:20 a.m., RW exited the Airbnb with a suitcase. Put the suitcase in the trunk and got in a dark gray or silver sedan, which departed. The Airbnb, though, was rented for another day, and RW was not set to leave until a flight scheduled the following day. So they got a hotel checkout date and a flight date that don't match him leaving as well. I see them just putting pieces together. I get it. Both of Big U's phones did not begin reporting location data again until approximately 2:15 a.m. Based on investigator test drives and research, the drive from the studio to the Airbnb would take roughly 17 minutes. So somebody went and did the drives. I was investigating back and forth to calculate it. After Big U's phone stopped reporting location data when they left the vicinity of the studio, the dark sedan arrived with RW at the Airbnb 15 minutes later, which is consistent with traffic patterns after midnight. The drive from the Airbnb to the location where RW's body was found and then to the location where Big U's phone began reporting again would take roughly 42 minutes. The time from where RW left the Airbnb when Big U's phone began reporting again is 48 minutes. Approximate time for the drive, murder, and moving of the body, particularly in the middle of the night without traffic. Mm. One of Big U's phones then made a call to Robinson, who witness one reported was still at the studio, which is corroborated by Robinson's phone location data. According to witness one, Robinson asked witness one if he had seen Big U, which witness one found odd since Robinson and Big U's driver and bodyguard. At approximately 2:30 a.m. or 3 a.m., Big U returned to the studio alone in the dark gray Lexus and spoke with witness one, who reported that Big U appeared to be drenched in either sweat or water. Big U told witness one that he was coming back from the gym. It's a late gym night, huh? 2:30, 2, 3 a.m. 2:30, 3 a.m. in the morning. Not saying that people don't go to gym that time in the morning. They do. They got 24-hour gyms. You know what I'm saying? RW's body was found hours later at approximately 9 a.m. One of the Las Vegas Police Department detectives investigating the murder believed RW died at the location near the side of the road on I-15 after he observed the roadway contained a distinct patch of blood, which trailed down the hill from the roadway into the desert along with drag marks. Big U's phone location data shows that he departed Las Vegas to return to Los Angeles at approximately 10 a.m. Evidence from the scene. Officers and medical professionals responded to the scene of RW's murder, and a subsequent autopsy found that RW died from multiple gunshot wounds. The responders noted that RW was not dressed for the weather, which was cold and inclement on the night of the murder. DNA was collected from RW's ankle sock area consistent with the direction of that RW was dragged into the desert off the highway. So they collected data from there because they feel like somebody just grabbed his two ankles and just dragged them. Some movies type shit, y'all. The DNA profile obtained was not complete, likely due to the aforementioned inclement weather on the night of the murder. Analysis of Big U's DNA profile was inconclusive, such that he could not be excluded as the contributor of the DNA. Robinson, on the other hand, was excluded as a potential contributor of DNA found on RW. All right. So inconclusive, people. Inconclusive. All right. Big U arranges for recording equipment from the studio to be removed and surveillance video to be destroyed. Witness one told the Las Vegas Police Department detectives that DS, who is Big U's associate, removed video recording equipment from the studio a couple days after the homicide, including destruction of the surveillance video data that would have shown RW and Big U at the studio shortly before RW's murder. Witness 2 told the FBI that Big U ordered Witness 1 and Witness 2 to leave the premises, take a walk. Wow. Prior to the removal of the video recording equipment, Witness 1 explained that 3 relatively new surveillance and working DVR devices had been removed from the studio and all the security cameras were disabled. Witness 1 stated that replacement DVRs were installed, but they did not work. Witness 3, this is my first time hearing Witness 3 here, right? Witness 3, who had previously installed the DVR equipment at the recording studio, also spoke with the FBI. According to Witness 3, on January 31st, 2021, Witness 3 went to the studio to fix video cameras that were not working at the studio after Witness 2 called Witness 3 to fix them. Witness 3 analyzed the equipment and concluded that the DVR system was unplugged or turned off. According to Witness 1, DS then sent him money to purchase new DVR equipment for the studio. I believe that there is probable cause to conclude that footage from the DVR system would have shown an altercation between Big U and RW on the night of January 24th, 2021. And at minimum, Big U and RW leaving the studio together shortly before RW's murder. Ugh. Interviews of family witnesses and Big U Enterprise associates. It's going to be just continuing to corroborate the information, piecing the puzzle together. But that, to me, that we just read through was the biggest piece, or pieces. What's this right here? Search RW's Instagram. RW's final Instagram message to Big U regarding the price of a song was sent January 24th, 2021 at 1:57 p.m. Big U did not respond until January 26th, 2021 at 8:14 a.m., almost 24 hours after Big U left Las Vegas after RW's murder. So what are they trying to imply? That he responded to his DM as a semi-social media IG alibi? I guess so that's what they're trying to say. And that's why it was so late. I guess that's what they're trying to show there. In the meantime, the evidence shows that Big U had seen RW at the studio the night of January 24th. So it's like, you seen him on the 24th, but you replied to his DM. I mean, there's still justifications there. Like, just because I seen you doesn't mean that, because I have interactions with my folks on different mediums. My boy Tate, for example, we talk on the phone, we DM on IG, and we text. All three. You know what I'm saying? So I see what they're trying to do there, but it draws suspicion, I would say. I get it. You know what I mean? On February 3rd, 2021, the detectives conducted a recorded interview of KF, a person RW's aunt heard Big U talking to about RW's travel arrangements on January 27th. So this is all talking with people and just placing Big U, creating the not just the affiliation, but even this whole situation around the studio booking. And it's all placement. It's all placement. Was seen leaving the Airbnb with his suitcase in a gray or a silver sedan, and then found, it's all placement. It's all placement. KF advised that RW made music and was supposed to make one song per day in Las Vegas. Okay. Soon after the interview with KF, they got a lot of people that's being interviewed had used. So you notice they say in initials when it's just people, the family members that's being interviewed, but when it's witnesses, they put in witness, and earlier they had that informant. Like, so it's a delineation. And it seemed like just civilians and family members and just regular people that they're talking to and getting information from. And that has to be expected and anticipated in a situation like this. It does. The police and the detectives are going to talk to as many people as possible. Title 3 interceptions. All right, let's see what they got. What else they got on these fucking wiretaps. After leaving business card and informing Big U's wife, SH, what they're just dropping initials in here, ABSH, that they were there following the 2-year anniversary of RW's homicide, were new to the case and were just talking to everyone who was close to RW. SH called Big U from Big U's father's phone. SH had not done this before during the entirety of the wiretap. Big U answered, "What's up, Dad?" Further showing the nature of the call, SH then explained that the detectives came by their home and were looking for him and talking to others. Big U asked how many officers, but was otherwise extremely circumspect, whatever. In the hundreds of hours of calls captured, that I've listened to, Big U's voice was notably and conspicuously different on this call. SH also lied to the police, stating Big U only lived at Big U's 62nd Street premises sometimes. In actuality, FBI observed on surveillance and in months of cell phone or cell site location data that Big U was there most nights unless he was traveling. After the call, Big U did not return home for 2 weeks. Again, something he had not done during the entirety of surveillance or cell site location data received by law enforcement. Moreover, that night, victim one paid an extortion fee to Robinson, who was driving Big U's Mercedes. Again, Robinson driving Big U's Mercedes was something that had not occurred before during the course of the investigation. Based on my training and experience, I believe that Big U not returning home for 2 weeks and having one of his associates driving his car were attempts by Big U to avoid law enforcement regarding RW's murder. On or about February 14, 2023, at approximately 12:05 p.m., Big U called Martin. During the intercepted call, Big U told Martin he wanted to meet with him at Martin's auto shop to discuss the police investigation into RW's murder. The following is a transcription of a portion of the conversation. Big U, 5 detectives went by my house this morning from Las Vegas and said they wanted to talk to me. You hear me? Martin, yeah. Big U, probably let you know. They was asking about RW and told Static, oh, there's Static on the call. 2-year anniversary, 2-year anniversary. It was they wanted to follow up and talk to everybody who was close. And where you at? Martin, I'm at the shop. Big U, all right, I'm pulling up on you. Martin, all right. It's a phone call. Based on other intercepts, I know that Big U believed that. Let me just stop. Hold on. Let's not just gloss over that. Like, they're going to use that as extremely substantial. It's like, why are you putting together a meeting to discuss RW's murder? Or like, if they really want to press, they're going to say, detectives are asking questions. As a law-abiding citizen, you're supposed to come forward. Why you why are you pulling up on your homie at the shop to talk about it? Just seems substantial. You don't read something like that and say guilty, but you don't read something like that and just be naive. You see what I'm saying? To understand why they put shit like this in here. Based on other intercepts, I know that Big U believed the FBI may have been intercepting his phone calls. Therefore, I believe Big U wanted to talk to Martin in person. He felt the heat on him, possibly, huh? And then you don't even have to feel the heat if you're still just following, I guess, your criminal patterns that are a little bit common for God knows how long. Is no phones anyway, right? So, following the call to Martin, Big U immediately placed multiple calls to DS, the person who reportedly removed the video surveillance footage from the studio. More substantial evidence there or pattern. The first few calls were not answered. Then Big U told DS he needed to meet with him. The following is a transcription of a portion of the conversation. Big U, where you at? DS, at the house, ready to jump in the shower. What you on? Big U, I need to pull up on you. DS, all right, I'm right here at the house. Big U, all right, I got to pull up on you. DS, how long you going to be? Big U, I ain't about to go nowhere. Are you? DS, nah. Big U, okay. DS, I'll just jump in the shower though, just to be ready though. Big U, okay. DS, all right, for sure. I don't say shit, but it's the timing of it. And they're just putting it all together, saying that the timing of it is like these detectives come by, you make this call to Martin, then you happen to call the person who was involved in the studio footage and shit. Once again, you got to be naive to ignore the timing and the padding and the placement of these calls and who you have. It's like, why is there a connection between these three people's phone calls at this moment after detectives? That is the clear cut. Don't be naive. Not saying that, once again, directly what's said on the call says guilty, but it's like kind of like type of type of shit. You know what I mean? I get it. I see what they're doing here. Doesn't mean he's guilty, people. It's not, doesn't mean, but we see what he's doing, what they're doing here. As discussed above, DS reportedly removed video surveillance evidence from Big U and RW's presence at the studio hours before the homicide. Yeah, so it just doesn't look good. On February 21st, Big U received a phone call from his son. Big U's son told Big U that the police detectives once again called him about RW, said they've been contacting them. They knew it was on the move, this whole RW investigation, and suggested that the detectives had spoken to SH and Big U already. Big U told his son that nobody had spoken to the detectives and directed him not to talk to anyone anymore about RW. And they said RW and Big U's son allegedly were close friends. Hmm. The same day, Big U called SH to tell her that the NY or that the police detectives had called their son about RW and what was said. Big U told SH to call LD. LD is the mother of KF, Big U's employee who booked victims RW's travel arrangements and lied to investigators when questioned. But on FaceTime, it's two females I think I saw that's in that the whole, you see the background of my thumbnail, that whole layout of everybody that they grabbed or targeted. It's two females in there. Heenley, or I'm sorry, Big U told SH to be careful about what she said over the phone. SH said he had nothing to worry about. When the FBI approached LD about this, LD hired a lawyer who told law enforcement that her client had no memory of this and had nothing to do with it. The same day, Big U called Martin and told him he had been trying to reach him. Later, same day, Big U called Martin to confirm that he was at Martin's auto shop. Still later, Big U called Robinson. Robbery in violation of the Hobbs Act and as racketeering activity. All right, so they're out of the murder now. How y'all feeling so far? Y'all good? Y'all good? Quick intermission. Y'all good? Let me come over to the to what's going on. We got Jay in the building. Shout out to our mod and our member, our beloved mod and member, gifted one Rare Breed Entertainment membership. What's this? You gifted 10, love? Wow. Shout out to Jay. Do I have any sound effects still configured in my UI? Let me see. Do I have any sound effects still here? Do I? Nah, I don't. Damn, if I had my horn, I'd play my horn for Jay. I gotta upload a horn into my UI. Thank you, Jay. We appreciate you. You know I appreciate you 1000%. Really, really appreciate you for that. Shout out to Jay, man. Hooking y'all up. The members is growing over here heavy. Intermission, man. How y'all feeling? Let me check the chat. What's up? Shit. Stay at my house. Checking at my I got a key to my front door. That's my check-in. Shit. I ain't going nowhere and I ain't affiliate myself with shit. I ain't no big celebrity. I ain't got millions of dollars to play in y'all dice games. Nobody care about me. I'll travel in and out of these cities and these states and nobody will give a fuck because I don't matter. So nobody gives a fuck about. Actually, they don't want me to check in. But if I fucking go fly right now to Houston or to Detroit or fucking LA and I try to call or DM some of these celebrities like, yo, what's up, man? I'll try to check in. They're like, who are you? I'm like, I'm ARP from Rare Breed Entertainment and the Sorry Shoe Podcast. They be like, all right, give me a second. They go look at my Instagram. They be like, we can't get no $5 million dice game out of this nigga. Get the fuck on. I'm like, damn, but I'm on my way. They be like, so? Nobody want me to check it with them, man. I'm telling you, I ain't nobody. I don't matter. I do not matter, man. I really don't fucking matter. That's the safest route, right? I do not fucking matter. What's good, G? I don't matter. Who the fuck was? I'm telling you, if I try to check it with somebody, they're gonna say, leave me alone. Oh man, chill with the battle rap shit, man. All right. Let's get back. Oh my god, what? We're only 49 pages in after all of that shit. How long have we been on the stream so far? Almost an hour and 30 minutes, and we're only halfway through this paperwork. Oh, hell nah. I think we got all the good stuff. I hope we did. Robbery in violation of the Hobbs Act and racketeering activity. Oh, hell nah. I ain't fucking doing another 70 pages. Hold on. Ainley directs a robbery and conspiracies to rob, and Robinson and William Purcell. Oh, damn. We can't skip some of this shit. Fuck. Well, all right. Let's keep going. One such robbery occurred on July 5th, 2021 at an unlicensed marijuana dispensary in Los Angeles where victim one worked. Leading up to the robbery, Big U Enterprise had been extorting victim one for years, and victim one had been paying the Big U Enterprise up to $25,000 per month. Like, I get money. See, people going to see shit like this and be like, oh, there's money in that extortion shit too. Bet, let me get in. $25,000 per month when victim one was at the top of his earning capacity. Shortly before the robbery, however, victim one had ceased paying extortion to Big U Enterprise as victim one did not believe it was necessary or that he was receiving any benefit from the payments. On the day of the robbery, approximately 11 of the Big U Enterprises members and associates, including Robinson and Williams, both of whom victim one knew well as Rolling 60s members, rushed into the dispensary armed with firearms and without masks. They demanded belongings of anyone inside and stole cash and marijuana from the store before fleeing. At one point, they demanded a Rolex watch from one of the co-owners, but at Robinson's direction, they ended up letting him keep it, according to victim one, while still at the dispensary. So you're in the middle of tearing his shop up and robbing him, but somebody in there that was a big dog, Robinson, said, no, leave his Rolex alone. Let him keep his Rolex. The robbers put victim one on a phone with Big U, who invited victim one to Big U's home. According to victim one, when victim one arrived at Big U Arlington premises, Robinson, Williams, and other robbers were there, as were the proceeds of the robbery. Inside, Big U told victim one, "That's how you rob yourself." Big U then demanded $10,000 from victim one to ensure other robberies did not occur. Big U also directed victim one to identify other businesses or dispensaries that could be similarly robbed and assured victim one that Big U Enterprise will compensate him for identifying any robberies. Big U then provided a portion of the robbery proceeds back to the victim. What the fuck? This shit is sounding crazy, B. Niggas ran into his store, robbed him, and then brought him to Big U's house and sit him in front of the big boss. And he said, "Like what you just went through? We just took your shit, didn't we? I'll let you keep your watch. By the way, you got 10 grand for me? And give me some other licks. And I'll back down a little bit." That shit just reads crazy. I mean, you know what's so wild, man? All bullshit aside, what's wild about it is, you know, when you watch Big U on camera and you see like some of his interviews and you watch him up on some of these podcasts and even the videos that he made yesterday, right? As he was on his way to turn himself in, he sounds like at times reserved. It sounds like comes across like a cool guy, right? I know people have a million faces, right? A million tones. But this paperwork reads like he's on some fucking Nikki from Casino shit. Like as if like he walks in the room and everybody just starts shaking. He doesn't present himself like that from the outside looking in. You know, but the type of shit that they're explaining here reads vicious. Like it's one thing to just rob him and let that be the message. But then you rob him and then you bring him to you at your house and you sit him down, you have a conversation with him, and then you negotiate other robbery terms with us. The shit just reads like, damn, dude, like this sounds bold as fuck the way you're carrying it. Williams later admitted to this robbery and the aftermath on a podcast. On the No Jumper podcast, after stating, didn't I tweet this yesterday? I want to see how many times the No Jumper podcast comes up in the indictment or the paperwork. I tweeted this yesterday, and there you have it. There you have it. Admitted on the No Jumper podcast after stating that Williams and Big U right hand man Williams explained. So basically, he'll manipulate things. We'll go and we'll do something, and then the same niggas we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later as we trying to count everything. Oh, this was the shit that Loose Cannon was talking about, I think I remember that episode. And we be like, how the fuck Williams? Hold on, let me just look at that real quick. Is Williams like? Yeah, Tremaine Williams is Loose Cannon. This is definitely the shit that Loose Cannon explained and detailed and broke down on the No Jumper podcast. 100%. I knew it. We predicted it. We knew the No Jumper podcast was going to come up sooner or later. Well, we're just going to give like 40,000 back. Whack 100, who was a rival counterpart of Big U for the Bloods, was also on the podcast and stated, you know why he wanted to give you the dude back, the 40, right? Because he was going to make the dude give him 20 for getting it back. Williams, I'll start replacing Williams. Let me just make sure. Let me pull it up one more time. What? Yeah, Tremaine Williams, Loose Cannon. Okay, let me just start replacing the name Williams with Loose Cannon then. Loose Cannon then agreed. Of course, he did that to two famous rappers. Loose Cannon then detailed demanding 50,000 from the celebrity rapper RR, Rick Ross. That's got to be Rick Ross, right? I think he said Rick Ross. I think he said it on that podcast. Or did he just say, oh, whatever? Dropped off the 50,000, and Big U stopped answering the phone and then did not share any of the proceeds with Loose Cannon. According to further No Jumper and Vlad segments, Big U then served a cease and desist order on No Jumper, and this podcast episode was removed from the platform, although a recording of the episode remained available elsewhere online. Loose Cannon's recounting of this robbery occurred years after the robbery of Victim One's dispensary and years after Victim One had already recounted and documented the robbery for the FBI. Loose Cannon continues to commit and discuss robberies and other violent acts. Lately, Loose Cannon has claimed in multiple interviews that he is no longer affiliated with Big U, whom he now refers to as Big Useless and Big Uterus. However, Loose Cannon continues to discuss former Big U enterprise business, to discuss and threaten violent assaults and robberies, and to actually commit the same. For example, on January 3rd, 2025, outside one, there goes no. Damn, I should have tried to find somebody to bet me money. For example, on January 3rd, 2025, outside the No Jumper podcast filming location in Los Angeles, Williams struck a victim in the head multiple times with a firearm and pointed the firearm at the back of his head, while two other suspects removed valuables from the victim, including jewelry, cash, and a cell phone, an excess value of $5,000. The victim lost consciousness during the incident, which was captured on video and posted to social media. Apparently, to stoke fear and boast of Loose Cannon's penchant for violence. After the incident, Loose Cannon posted a 7-minute video. I don't got to read the rest. He posted a 7-minute video telling the world that he did it. Right now, let me see what he's going to say. Posted a 7-minute video on his YouTube channel discussing the beating, stating that he used to be Big Useless Enforcer and he loves to fight, and that the incident could have went a lot worse. Loose Cannon's post also played a portion of the assault. It's your YouTube. Similarly, why am I fucking up that word? Tongue rolling on that. On February 25th, 2025, Loose Cannon posted a video on his YouTube channel in which he threatened anyone that is at odds with him to do something bad to you, your mama, your daddy, anybody. In that same video, Loose Cannon walked through the checking in process and walked through the fact that he would rob any celebrity who did not check in, including at an Airbnb, a restaurant, a car wash, or anywhere. Loose Cannon. This is today's YouTube and social media, man. Loose Cannon also said that he was with Big U when rapper Rakim Hashim Allen, aka PNB Rock, was robbed and killed, and that they told him to comply and that they would get the jewelry later. What? Was robbed and killed? Loose Cannon also walked through the kidnapping of a famous rapper that Loose Cannon and Big U committed together, and then discussed several Big U enterprise associates being good in Los Angeles because they have checked in. Some of those mentioned were developing options, donors, or former NBA players who have provided hundreds of thousands of dollars purported gifts to Big U personally. Give those gifts, you good moving around in LA. In February 2020. So, I mean, if it's that crazy behind the scenes and that much money is getting spent and that much check in, then the reputation throughout the celebrity world and the talk about this has to be extremely well known, to the point where NBA players, baseball players, football players, rappers, singers, producers, if you are a celebrity and people know you get into that bag, you probably know, damn, I'm going to LA. And it's like part of it. Like, I'm not saying that everybody got a store. I'm not exaggerating. I'm just saying, like, it's got to be well known in celebrity circles. Super well known of like in these places. Eh. And this also reads like Big you could have made $1 billion in all of this shit. Like, it's a lot of money, I think, is over the course of these years moving around. Maybe I should have read his fucking seizures and his assets earlier, because if the shit says 5 different $80 million properties and shit, and there you have it. Seems like there's a lot of money at stake here between all these different extortions and rob and all, like a lot of money. And you celebrities are the biggest target. The biggest target. Further evidence of Big Use Enterprises involvement in robberies. Throughout this investigation, the FBI obtained many recordings of Big U Enterprise members and associates discussing robberies that they were committing or planning to commit. Oh, similar on June 22nd, 2022, another recorded call. Robinson told victim one that Big U had been asking Robinson if they needed to do a takeover, which I know based on my training experience and participation in this investigation to mean a takeover robbery. Victim one at his marijuana dispensary again because victim one had not paid his extortion payments. Then on July 9th, 2022, Big U told victim one, "We got to rob someone. You with that bullshit?" On July 31st, 2022, Big U told victim one that Big U needed $30,000 to pay his developing option staff and was considering a robbery and increased extortions to obtain the funds. Big U was also intercepted on a telephone call telling an auto shop owner that Big U knew how much he had paid the shop owner because the payment was proceeds of a robbery. In other Title III wiretap interceptions, I also heard Big U planning a robbery of individuals that had stolen equipment from a celebrity rapper using an Apple AirTag that was purportedly with the equipment. Big U, Martin, and others obtained firearms and began to stage the robbery to get back with equipment. However, when they arrived, the police also arrived. Having been called by the celebrity rapper, I witnessed the staging of the robbery and surveillance before it was called off. Man, I'm kind of glad there's not a lot of money in podcasting, man. I ain't worth it. I am not worth your targets. I'm not worth you being on the run for. I'm not worth nothing. I'm so glad podcast. Well, some of these stream. If I ever get to the level of Aiden Ross and some of these guys and all that type of shit, I'm gonna just hire myself 24/7 security, sit outside my premises all day. But I ain't worth it. Damn sure not now. I ain't worth it. Damn. Intercepted call. Mitchell discussed above. Big U coordinated with how they would give Big U the proceeds from a robbery that Mitchell committed. Big U and Mitchell, it's just a lot of robberies, and they robbed the nigga for some bullshit, then made a nigga call his plug, and it's just a lot of robbery gangster shit going on. Extortion in violation of the Hobbs Act and as racketeering. So we already heard a bunch of extortion in here. They got victim one again. So victim one, whoever that is, got a lot of input in this paperwork. A lot of, and he's been talking to them since 2021. Right. Yeah. And look at these bullets. Consensually recorded call, consensually recorded call, consensually recorded call, consensually all this shit about robberies and discussions. And damn, look at all these bullets of the recorded calls. Consensually recorded call in which Robinson told victim one to give Big U a weekly salary of $1,000. Robinson further advised victim one gets in trouble when promising larger amounts. Robinson also asked victim one. Victim one's got a lot going on in here with them. The FBI provided $500 in cash for the meeting, and victim one paid that money to Big U. Victim one's got a lot going on in here. Victim one, look at all this. Victim one. Who is victim one, man? This person. Look at this. This is all victim one. Victim one. Victim one. Victim one. This is all victim one. All of this shit. Victim. This is all victim one. Whoa. Additionally, Big U, Robinson, and Martin extorted victim. Now we get the victim. Victim two at Deja Vu, an international adult entertainment club at a location in Los Angeles. All this fucking extortion. Victim. Here's his phone call. Victim one. I was trying to get you about 20,000. Big U 30,000. Victim one. I sold it for 30. The whole thing for 30, and I gotta get all the people. Big U 30,000. Cause this shit is viral, and it's all over the city. Got me into it with my wife and everybody else, and that's the number you told me. Victim one. But if Wiz don't come, Big U yelling at victim one, nigga, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'll tear that bitch up. It won't be a club there no more. You don't tell me if Wiz don't come, nigga. Victim one. But it's what I sold. Big U. I wouldn't give a fuck. You knew T.I. weren't never coming. And T.I. said he was getting the motherfucking drop. So that's on Vay. The name Vay is in the names too of people that's been grabbed up and all this shit. If he ain't get it, that's on you and Vay. I don't want to hear nothing. You ain't gonna use my name all over this motherfucker, and you need to bring me that money now. Victim one. I'm getting it from Tubbs and them later on in like 2 or 3 hours. They're gonna let me borrow. Damn, you would hate to be victim one, man. Why don't you leave, man? You gotta move away. You gotta go somewhere else, victim one. It's a wrap. It's too much pressure, man. You just giving your life away. Every dollar that you make, man, this type of pressure, they're gonna let me borrow some money. Big U. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have my niece and them come and get it. Damn. Later in the call, victim one and Big U discussed various business details related to booking the event at the club and the revenue victim two was expected to earn from the event. Transportation of individuals in interstate commerce with the intent that the individuals engage in prostitution in violation of the Mann Act and as racketeering activity. Okay, so this is the racketeering stuff. I just want to scroll down this, skim this, and see if we see any names. Oh, they got the wiretap intercepts on this stuff too. Okay, what names do we see? Other than the common ones. Promoting prostitution, okay. Cash before smash, Jesus. She advised that $1,000 payment was for her to close her food truck company. I don't know what that is. At the interview, investigators requested that whoever this is meet them the following day in the FBI Los Angeles field office to download the contents of her cell phone. Okay. Some name Manny in here. Fraud in violation of federal wire fraud, bank fraud. Yeah. What's this? Wire fraud through embezzlement and charitable donations. Okay, we heard about that. Yeah, it's all backdrop and details of it. Look at some of these numbers. Okay. Embezzles 19,000 from donation from donor 5 to developing options. Just looking at some of these numbers. Actual cost and paid for meal program 3,000. Donor 4 5,000. Okay. Transfer 10,000 to his bank account. That's a lot. It's a lot. Instead, Big U embezzled 36,400 in donations by transferring funds to his personal check. It's a lot. This is playing with this is all money shit for the fraud and what okay. Big U's tax crimes. I don't care to read that shit, but it's in here. Other criminal activities showing how the Big U enterprise operates. Robbery, extortion, wire fraud. We know. Additionally, the calls demonstrate a hierarchy of the Big U's enterprise with both Big U own words showing his leadership and other Big U enterprise members discussing Big U and his leadership of the Big U enterprise. Yeah, continue to put him at the top. Courses witness to recant statements, law enforcement implicating a Big U enterprise. So that's the witness tampering stuff, seems. Big U makes various threats and brags about violence to further the Big U enterprises and reputation of fear and violence and solidifying its power and to extort victims. All these bullet points. What's this? What's this 40,000? December 2024, Big U appeared on the local news claiming that 40,000 worth of toys was stolen from the outside of Big U's 67th Street residence. What's this? Summary of probable cause. Training and experience racketeering. All right. I'm gonna leave the rest alone. I think we got all the big stuff in here. Yeah, that's all the big stuff. Let me come back over to the supers real quick. Hold on. What we got here? Shout out to Sean 0999 with the super. I appreciate you for also being a member. This unrelated, but what's your opinion on the movie's Fight Club? I think it's a very, very good movie. Actually, I might consider Fight Club a classic. I might give it a classic category. I love Fight Club. It's one of those movies that got one of those twists that I definitely didn't see coming. Movies like that, movies like Usual Suspects, movies like Primal Fear. Fight Club is in there where it's just like, I did not see that coming. This is the same person? What the fuck? Yeah, you know what? For me personally, I'm gonna give it that stamp. It's classic. Once again, shout out to you, Sean. Ken, speak on Yellow Beezy being arrested. 3-4 MO3 murder. That just came out. I'm gonna have to catch up on that. Jesus Christ, send it to me, y'all, on my IG. I'm trying to keep up. Man. All right. Almost 2 hours. A read for y'all of there you have it. Big U's Rico case paperwork. A lot going on. The murders, a lot of description around the murders. Extortion. The extortion stuff was heavy. And victim one is like within 40% of the shit. The tax stuff, the fraud stuff. It's just a lot. The check-in stuff. It's a lot, man. It's so much going on. What's this? You read page 84 or am I late? Shout out to Legacy as a member. Appreciate the super as well. What's page 84? What's page 84? Hold on, let me bring it back up real quick. What's page 84? Hold on. What's happening with page 84? What did I miss? Was it something crazy on page 84? What happened on page 84? All right, so this is page 84. You describing tooling up with a firearm. This is all wire intercept stuff, I think, right? told someone in prison he was buying 6 phones that could be smuggled in and sold for $1,000 a piece. Jesus. Big U told someone that another person was a rat and done. Big U again described needing to beat the shit out of Whack 100. Is that what you wanted me to read? Big U describing threatening to kill Grape Street Crips. Big U describing being the hunter of the rolling 60s and having paperwork on individuals. Big U told Robinson he was going to break victim one's jaw. Big U stated he was going to break the jaw of a business manager who worked for a former NBA MVP. Big U described the modus operandi of Big U Enterprise, which included robbing individuals but not taking everything from them so that they can continue to work, be robbed, identify other robbery targets, and buy their stolen things back from Big U Enterprise. Big U asked someone to grab a firearm from him that he left under the tire of a car. Big U discussed with Blanton an individual who was going to be robbed in the near future. Big U discussed sending a message to a dispensary owner that he fucked with the wrong guy. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. That was the page 8. I appreciate you, Legacy, once again, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. I know he's in there, you know, in his videos released yesterday saying, you know, this is how they do a black man try to do the right thing and all that. But they got this paperwork reading like he's a super demon, a super duper demon. Drop in the comments below, man, especially if you're from out LA. What's the energy out there? Is Big U's reputation out there going hand in hand with the paperwork? I'm not trying to say that, you know, if you live in LA or Cali, say, yeah, he did it. Yeah, no, he didn't. I'm just saying, is the reputation or is the talk that this is the type of stuff that he's known for, whether he's guilty or innocent? That's what I want to hear from more people that's close out there. Cause damn, like that shit looks so crazy in the paperwork. But I appreciate everybody for rocking 2-hour read with y'all. I hope that paperwork that we cover is shorter than that. But every once in a while, we're gonna get hit with the Drake defamation suit or shit like this, and it's that long. And y'all are the ones that's keeping me in the loop. Appreciate y'all even sending it to me because I don't get everything. I come across certain shit, and then certain shit y'all send me. So I appreciate y'all. It's a team effort. I tell everybody that all the time. I appreciate y'all, you know, trying to keep me in a loop with stuff. But it's big news. It's going to remain big news on the internet for a while. I will say, after reading paperwork like that, condolences and much respect to anybody affected by any crimes that might have been put in this paperwork. And that's not saying that Big U or any of these names are guilty or not guilty. We don't know yet. You know, I don't know yet. We don't know yet. But we do want to give sympathy to all those affected and impacted from reading shit like that, because it's scary. It's scary stuff, man. And this is the type of stuff we want to try to keep ourselves and our families away from as much as possible. So, all right, y'all. It's the Sorry It's True podcast, and we'll be back in the morning.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry It's True podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without my thing, still got a gun.